We're here to take a big stack of information, boil it down, and really pull out those crucial nuggets of knowledge for you.
Giving you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into some excerpts from an article titled LANDEURO 2025, Transforming with Allies for the Future Fight. This came out from U.S. Army Public Affairs just a few days ago, July 11th, 2025. It gives us a really good look inside a major global security conference that's about to happen. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Right. So LANDEURO 2025, it's actually the very first conference of its kind.
Oh, really? The inaugural one?
Yeah. And it's set for July 16th and 17th, happening at the Rhine-Main Congress Center. That's in Wiesbaden, Germany.
Okay.
And the core idea really is for it to be this vital platform, a place to hash out the future of global security, which is, let's face it, pretty complex right now.
Absolutely. And you can tell how important it is just by looking at who's showing up. The leadership participating is, well, it's significant.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got Radmila Ekarinska, the NATO Deputy Secretary General, crucial perspective there on alliance stuff. Then General Christopher Donahue, he's the Commanding General for U.S. Army Europe and Africa. So insights right from the sharp end of deterrence.
Right on the ground.
And maybe most notably, Mikhailo Fedorov is going to be there. He's Ukraine's Minister of Digital Transformation.
Which says a lot, doesn't it, about technology and modern warfare?
It really does. So it's this big mix, right? International defense chiefs, policy makers, industry experts, all coming together.
It's a serious gathering. And General Donahue, you mentioned him, he really nailed the purpose. He said, and I'm quoting loosely here, but the gist is, we're reestablishing deterrence, countering Russia through transformation and innovation.
Transformation and innovation, key words.
Exactly. And he points to U.S. Army, Europe, and Africa as this crucial proving ground for future lethality. But the article makes clear it's not just about the U.S. military's transformation.
It's broader.
Much broader. It's about empowering allies, too, getting them to invest more in their own defense, which strengthens everyone, collective security, forging really solid partnerships.
Okay, so how is it structured? Just a bunch of speeches?
No, it seems pretty dynamic, actually. The article mentions 8 main panels, but also 7 sessions called Warriors' Corners.
Warriors' Corners, what are those?
Think less like stuffy breakout rooms, more like active zones, places where military folks, academics, and industry people can really dig into the details.
Okay.
Share lessons, maybe even prototype some ideas. It sounds like they want a real marketplace of ideas, almost like a tech expo, but focused on defense strategy.
Interesting. So, okay, the big goal is deterrence, future warfare. Where does the deep dive start? What's the foundational piece?
Well, it seems they start with the big picture, understanding that global threats are all connected now.
Right. Nothing happens in isolation anymore.
Precisely. And there's a panel specifically called World War Next, the Interconnected Global Threat.
Sounds ominous.
It does, yeah. It's moderated by Heino Klink from Klink Global. And the panelists are interesting. Vice Admiral Diane Turton from Australia, Lieutenant General Pasi Välimäki from Finland.
So different perspectives, different regions.
Exactly. And the key takeaway the article points to is how threats in, say, Europe and the Indo-Pacific aren't separate problems anymore.
They can influence each other.
Yeah, they can bleed into the other, as the article puts it. A cyber attack over here could mess with supply chains over there or trigger some kind of response. It forces you to think globally.
Okay, so if you accept that interconnectedness, that a spark in one place can cause a fire somewhere else, the next logical step is, how do you prepare for that? How do you actually equip yourself?
You've hit it. That's the crucial transition. Understanding is one thing, being ready is another.
The practicalities.
Right. And that leads directly into this really vital session called Magazine Depth Wins Wars, the future of NATO's arsenal.
Magazine depth. Okay, explain that a bit. It's not just about having some ammo, right?
Exactly. It's about having enough of the right stuff, munitions, critical gear to sustain a fight. A long, intense fight. Think endurance.
So the capacity to keep going.
Precisely. This session, moderated by Melanie Marlowe from CSIS.
CSIS, the think tank. Yeah.
Right. With retired General Ed Daly and Major General Bo Dyes, they're focusing hard on NATO's production capabilities. How do we make more faster? How do we ensure systems work together, interoperability?
Finding real practical solutions for being prepared globally.
That's the core of it. The article suggests this is seen as a key vulnerability they need to fix.
Makes sense. So, Okay, focus on readiness, on supplies. Now, how do the lessons from actual ongoing conflicts fit in? I'm thinking particularly about Ukraine.
Yeah, Ukraine is casting a long shadow, but in a, well, instructive way. It's providing immediate real-world data. There's a panel called Ukrainian Lessons in Rapid Adaptation, moderated by Dr. John Nagel, and Lieutenant General Curtis Buzzard is on it. He commands the Security Assistance Group for Ukraine.
So he'd have direct insight.
Absolutely. And the focus here is on how Ukraine has adapted so quickly, those efficient feedback loops, Battlefield needs driving production changes, quick system upgrades.
Like with drones, maybe. Or adapting older tech.
Exactly, that kind of thing. The article points to how fast they integrated new stuff based on what was happening day to day. It's a model for multinational cooperation, really.
And there's another Ukraine-focused session too, isn't there?
Yes, following right on from adaptation is innovation. Ukrainian innovation at the speed of relevance.
Speed of relevance, I like that phrase.
Me too. It captures the urgency. This one's led by Francis Durnley from The Telegraph, and you've got industry folks like Ray Fitzgerald from Sierra Nevada Company.
Okay, so industry perspective here.
Right, highlighting the cutting-edge stuff, especially unmanned systems, cost-effective platforms, and, things developed out of sheer necessity.
And the takeaway is?
Leveraging the entire transatlantic industrial base. Using that combined power to get capabilities out there at the speed the battlefield demands.
Okay, so we've covered the big picture threats, the need for supplies, the lessons from Ukraine. What about specific military capabilities? Modernizing forces.
Yep, they dive into that too. Two key areas highlighted are air defense and multi-domain operations.
Right. Let's start with air defense.
Okay, the panel is Defending the Skies, Today's Capabilities, Tomorrow's Edge. Moderated by Louis Bergeron from Govini and featuring Brigadier General Curtis King. He commands the 10th Army Air and Missile Defense Command.
So the expert on shooting things down.
Pretty much, yeah. They're looking at current challenges, and there are many, but also future strategies. How do you get different systems to work together seamlessly? How do you innovate to counter really sophisticated layered threats? Drones, missiles, the works.
And getting more complex all the time.
Definitely. And then there's the other panel, Breaking the Kill Chain, multi-domain operations against A2AD.
Okay, unpack that jargon for us. Yeah. A2AD and kill chain.
Sure. A2AD stands for anti-accessory denial. Basically, it's how an enemy tries to stop you from getting into an area or operating effectively once you're there. Think long-range missiles, dense air defenses.
Creating a keep-out zone.
Exactly. And the kill chain is that sequence of steps you take to find, target, and attack an enemy asset. Identify, track, target, engage, assess.
So breaking the kill chain means disrupting that sequence for the enemy.
Or, in this context, it's more about how we execute our kill chain effectively despite their A2AD defenses. This panel features Brigadier General Stephen Carpenter from the 56th Artillery Command, moderated by Dr. J.P. Clark.
And what's the focus?
It's about integration, combining everything artillery, air power, cyber attacks, electronic warfare, all working together seamlessly. Multi-domain.
Hitting them from all angles at once.
Pretty much. Finding ways to neutralize those defenses quickly, especially in the critical early stages of a conflict. Disrupting their ability to fight back effectively.
It really paints a picture of incredibly complex, integrated future warfare. Which brings us back to logistics and collaboration, doesn't it? Strategy's great, but you need the tools and you need to work together.
Absolutely critical. And that leads to the final two sessions the article highlights. First, FMS at the speed of war, reforming foreign military sales for global readiness.
FMS foreign military sales. That's how the U.S. sells defense gear to allies, right?
That's the main mechanism, yes. Moderated by retired Major General Peter Fuller.
The core issue here is speed. The current FMS process can be, well, bureaucratic, slow.
Not exactly speed of war.
Not even close, sometimes.
Yeah.
So this panel is looking for reforms. How do we accelerate getting equipment to allies and partners so they're actually ready when it counts?
Because readiness delayed is readiness denied, essentially.
You could say that. And then the final piece, wrapping it all together, is updating the arsenal of democracy, co-production with allies.
Arsenal of democracy.
Yeah.
Invoking some history there. Deliberately, I think. Moderated by Heidi Grant. This is all about collaborative production, not just selling finished products, but actually building things together.
Joint manufacturing, U.S., NATO, other partners.
Exactly. For critical systems, the idea is shared investment, shared innovation, building deeper strategic ties, and ultimately making global security more sustainable because more nations have a stake in producing the capabilities.
It really ties everything together, the need for readiness, innovation, and that deep cooperation.
It does. It moves beyond just buying and selling to actually building together.
So if we step back and look at the whole LANDEURO 2025 conference based on this preview,
Yeah.
the big themes seem crystal clear. Cooperation, innovation, and readiness.
Definitely. Cooperation, innovation, readiness.
It's really positioned as this vital meeting point, doesn't it? A place to hash out and align global defense strategies to handle these really messy, complex international threats we've been talking about in a world that's just deeply interconnected.
No doubt. And that interconnectedness, that emphasis on shared threats and shared production, it raises a really interesting question for you, the listener, to think about.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, given all this focus on interconnected global threats and co-production with allies, what does that actually mean for individual nations? How do you balance your own sovereign defense needs, your responsibility to protect your own borders, with this growing need, this imperative almost, for collective security, for shared innovation, especially when technology and geopolitics are changing so incredibly fast?
Balancing sovereignty with collective action in this new era, that's a lot to chew on.
It's the central tension, perhaps.
A really thought-provoking place to leave it. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into what LANDEURO 2025 is aiming to achieve.
Good to be here.
And we really encourage you, our listeners, keep exploring how these global defense strategies are shifting. It's crucial for understanding the world we're heading into.